Welcome to the French Podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Motivational Monday. My name is Eric F. King, and I am super excited to be here with you. I'm joined by Zan Anaguru and Annie Asung, and this is a global call. So we have people from all over the world here today, and we meet here every single Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And today, we are super excited because the topic is a topic that everybody can relate to. I don't care who you are, whether you live on the street or whether you're the president of a country, you have experienced fear in your life. And today we are going to talk about how to overcome fear so we can take action in our business and our life. And let me just say, to just get started, that if you are fearful before you do something new, that is absolutely normal. That is absolutely normal. Everybody goes through it, right? So don't think that you're different or you're strange or you're weird, because you're not. Fear is natural. Now, the difference between people that become highly successful in business and in life and people that don't is that they learn to fight their fear and overcome it and do it anyway, right? It's not like they don't have fear. It's not like they don't possess fear. It's just that they learn how to fight the fear and do it anyway. And today we're going to jump into that. So definitely put in the chat. Let us see who you are in the chat. Just, say hi from wherever you are so I can shout you out. Whoever is here today, I'm going to shout you out. And then also think of some questions for us that you can put in the chat as well. This is a great time to ask the question because you have three experts. My two speakers today are highly qualified to be here and speak with you. All right. So let me get to our first speaker. Our first speaker for today hails from Nigeria and West Africa. He helps people all over the world, and you'll see why in a second, or how in a second. People hire him from all over the world because he makes a difference in their business and their life. And we know that when you're fearful, one of the things you need is to think positively, right? That's the first part, right? And he's going to show you how to do so. So without further ado, let me bring on my good friend, Mr. Positive Energy, Zan Anagru. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning and happy Monday. Mr. Eli, thank you for being here. And all the superstars at home joining us live. We appreciate you. Want to say welcome to another edition of our Monday Morning Motivation. For those who don't know me, my name is Zion Inogiri, your positivity coach and mentor. Happy entrepreneurs embrace the power of positivity to thrive in their career and also in their business. Now, today's topic, like Mr. Eric said earlier, is a topic that each and every one of us can actually resonate with. Why? Because at different phases of our life, we have experienced fear. And it's true, fear it's normal. Why? Because we live in the moment. Nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows what's happening in 2 days' time, in 3 days' time. We only live in the moment. And a natural human, because we don't know what will happen, we tend to have fear. We tend to have anxiety. We all do. We all do. No matter who they are, no matter how successful anybody is, we all have fear. But the question is, how do you deal with fear? Does fear put you in a place where you're not growing, or does it become a motivating factor that pushes you to go to where you want to be? So for me, one of the ways or one of the things I do to overcome fear, whenever it comes, I feel it, it's the ability for me to accept that I'm scared. A lot of people live in denial. They live in denial that they are scared. They live in denial that there's something that they are afraid of. But for me, I live in acceptance. If I'm scared of or about anything, I accept the fact that it is normal to be scared. It's normal to be fearful about anything. So then what do I do? What's the way forward in overcoming fear? And when we talk about fear, fear is a mindset. It's a mindset. It's something you choose to believe. And there's an abbreviation that says first expectation appearing real. They are not real. They are just there, a feeling and an emotion that make you feel the pressure of what is supposed to be because you are not aware about it. So the ability for you to know that fear is just a mindset, it's just a thought, it's just a feeling. And do you know what? Feelings are not constant. Feelings fade off. Same thing as fear. So, like I said the first time, accept it. Accept what you're scared about. And know that it's also a mindset. And thirdly, be specific about what you're afraid of. A lot of people will tell you, oh, I'm scared. I'm afraid. It's too generic. By saying you are scared, what are you scared about? So getting specific about what you are scared about, it's one way for you to find solution. Maybe you are scared about talking to people on stage, or you are scared about failing in a business, or you are scared about getting scolded by somebody. We all have different things that we are afraid of. So the ability for you to be specific about what you are afraid of, it's key and it's very, very important. Write it down. Okay, I'm afraid of failing. Yes, it's okay to be afraid of failing, but then what can you do to overcome that emotion that you're feeling at the very moment? The fourth I will share with you, the fourth point I'm going to share with you is when we talk about fear, fear does not disappear. I'll say this again, fear does not disappear. What shrinks fear or makes the fear reduce is the ability for you to take both action to do what you need to do. A lot of persons are waiting for the perfect moment. Oh, I need to feel good about this project. I need to have it all figured out about this business. I need to have all the resources available for this business before I can take action. By so doing, you're going to have more reasons not to start because there is never a perfect time. There is never a perfect feeling. There is never a perfect timing to do what you want to do. We learn in the process. As you go on in the journey, you learn, you become wiser, you make mistakes, you learn more, you evolve, and you become a better version of ourselves. So one way for you to also overcome fear is the ability for you to take action. What's that thing you want to do? Are you scared of doing it? Do it scared. Are you scared of failing? Do it, fail, learn, and use the failure as a catalyst to move forward. So by doing that, it really helps person to be able to overcome fear. And lastly, I will end with this. When it comes to overcoming fear, the kind of people you surround yourself with matters a lot. They can either fuel your fear or help you overcome your fear. There are people when you're around them, what they tell you put you in a place where you are scared the more, when you become so unsure about what you want to do. Because why? Everybody is bringing their suggestion, everybody is bringing their opinion, and most of the time, the opinions are negative opinions, the suggestions are negative suggestions, which in then drains you of your energy. So when it comes to overcoming fear, for me, having the right people in your cycle is important. People who will make you feel like you can take on the sun and carry it on your shoulder without being scorched by it. People who can make you feel that you can fly the entire world even without having wings. So having people like that in your cycle is very important and it's going to help you overcome any outer or fear you have. Like I said before, mindset is key. For me, I will always say this: when your mind is set, your life is set. Every fear you experience begins from your mind. And the ability for you to deal with it in your mind is very key for you to take action and live your best life. So, as you embrace fear, as you recognize the fear, as you plan to take action, never forget when you are positive, you're possible. And in positivity, there's always endless possibilities for every one of us. So thank you so much for listening, everyone. I'll read the man back to you, Mr. Eric Efkin.
All right, all right. That was powerful. Thank you so much, Zion. My goodness, what a way to kick off the day and kick off the week. I am fired up after that. All right, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. And now we're going to go to our next speaker. Oh, by the way, let me just call some people out here. Welcome, welcome to Eric Doby. We see you. Welcome, Sadiq. We see you. Welcome, Solomon. Welcome to the call. Coral from across the pond. Welcome. I see you, Simi from Nigeria. Welcome. And I see there's a lot of people that haven't put a comment in the chat. Definitely put a comment in the chat so we can shout you out. Melanie, I see you. Melanie Richards, welcome. Welcome to the call. All right. So definitely put in the chat, guys. Just say hi. I'm from, whatever country or state you're from, so we can shout you out. All right. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it moving to our next speaker. So we're going to go tonight from Nigeria all the way to Europe, to London, England, to hear from our next speaker. Now, this is a guy that teaches people how to market themselves, right? How to become well-known, especially on LinkedIn. And there's a lot of fear behind that, right? When you want to put yourself out there. I remember speaking with the speaker once, and she said, Eric, you can put me out there, but I don't want to be out there. And I said, what does that mean? Right? So a lot of us are afraid to be out there. And this gentleman helps you get out there. So you can build your business and make some money. All right. He makes you famous. So without further ado, Any Awesome, the floor is yours.
Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. That's what I'll say for sure, right? Happy Monday. So glad to be here. Now, this is one of my favorite topics, Eric. Always has been. I guess because for the reasons you and Mrs. Z said, we've all been there, right? Fear is something that we've all experienced, and we still experience today. Yeah, but again, look, fear has its purpose. If there's a lion chasing you in your business, there's a snake about to bite you in your business, then run. By all means, run. Yes, I'm with you. That doesn't happen in business anymore, all right? No, okay, maybe not. So in which case, we need to tackle our fears and quieten it, right? There's no way around it. See, fear turns up when we're in that moment of that junction between uncertainty and what I call endless possibilities. That's when that fear turns up and says, "Oh, stay with me. Stay in the uncertain place. Endless possibilities. You don't want that. Because, right? See, as Mr. Z said, no, fear doesn't always turn up the way we think of it. As shivering, shaking, sweating, sweaty palms. See, fear turns up in very insidious ways. I mean, it's not real, but so what it turns up as things like, oh, when I'm ready. Oh, when I'm more ready. When things are perfect, you said, Mr. Z, right? When the sky is purple, yeah, that's when I'll do it. Yeah. And the famous one, when I have enough money, yeah. Not as if we forget that the possibilities that we can embark on, that we take on and do, the thing that we will give to the world, if we push past our fear, will make us money. We say, no, let me make money first, and then I'll do it, which is a bit pointless, right? Look, I've been there myself. For years, I lied to myself. I had to raise my prices in business, and Annie was like, no, I'll do it when I get better customers. I will do it when when I feel that I can deliver to the customers I have. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, does it? It's crazy, right? Stop lying to yourselves, my friends. We're making excuses, right? Stop doing it. It doesn't help you at all, right? Yes, and I mean, look, fear is. It tells me and tells you that you are growing. You're doing bigger things. Embrace it. Fear tells us that we're not where we were. Fear, it tells us that, in reality, we don't have to be perfect to do anything. And no, there's never a right time. There really isn't, all right? And when you know that, the big thing, of course, is fear of failure. What if they laugh at me? What if I lose my money? No, all of those are what if. What I call what if reads, right? What if you succeed? What if it goes really well? Right? That's our reality. Don't let fear hold you back. I think if you feel fear, be excited. It's the same feeling physiologically, right? So let fear fuel you into what you really want to do. No, when I feel fear these days, I'm like, yeah, good, 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 good. What's coming next? Let's do it. See, that's how I think we can all embrace fear and truly begin to achieve what we can achieve, right? Now, there's three simple strategies I will give you when it comes to fear. So, number one, look, work on your mindset. Work on the mindset that says, I can, I am the person who does that thing, and I will. Work on your mindset that says, I don't need things to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect on day one. I will learn, I'll get better, and I'll find my place. So that's number one combined. Number two, learn about fear. Learn the science of fear, and you realize it is a hoax. It's the biggest lie that our brain tells us. Yeah, when we learn that it's a hoax, then we don't let it stop us. Number three, my friends, there's no way of saying it. Just take the first step. Take the first step. Simple as that. Take the first step. Move forward. When you do that, everything gets better, right? Look, fear is, to do anything new, you have to take risks. Life is about taking risks. Take risks. Rather than saying no, I don't know, I'm afraid, or telling yourself stories, tell yourself no. I'm a risk taker. I love doing new things. I love bringing bigger solutions. And go for it. I'll end it. I'll end with this, right? Look, in life, it's very simple to get past our fear. Start. Just start. Learn. That's when after you start learning hard, right? Get help. You look for mentors, people who've been there before. And last of all, look, be prepared to improve. And at the same time, focus on one thing, the only one thing that really matters. Service. You're serving people. That's why you're doing what you're doing. If you remember all those things, follow the steps, my friends, fear can't stop you. Eric, I'll give you the mic, my friend.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. That was powerful. Wow, incredible. I was taking notes here, and I realized that a lot of what you said is in my notes already. So you guys stole my my whole presentation. But it's okay. It's okay because if I repeat what they said, that means it's very important, right? And that means that we're all on the same page. So I know Zion is going to jump on, is going to come back here soon, but I just want to share first of all, like I said, everybody experiences fear, and I'm going to tell you a couple short stories. So when I was in high school, I was one of the shortest guys in the class, right? I was pretty short, and I was one of the most shy, right? I was very shy. I sat in the back of the class, and I didn't want anybody to see me. And I didn't. My number one reason why I didn't speak much is I didn't want to be embarrassed, right? I didn't want to say something that made people make fun of me. And then one day, my class teacher, he basically forced me to get in front of the class and speak. And I was shaking, I was scared, I felt like fainting almost, right? It was a traumatic experience. It was the biggest fear I had in my life up to that point. So after I spoke, I realized I got over it. I did it. And then the next time I did it, it got easier. And then the next time it got easier. And after a while, I started enjoying it. And now I actually train people how to speak on stages. Even people that are professionals, I help them speak on my stage. So I just wanted to let you know that just because you're fearful of something doesn't mean you can't do it. You just need to start. Okay. The second story I want to share with you is just a couple summers ago, my first son, he wanted to start to learn how to drive. So I took him to the back of there's a school close to our house to teach him how to drive. And so we're in this parking lot, and he got in the driver's seat, and I told him to start moving, and he'll move a little and then stop. and then move and stop, and then move and stop. And I said, why do you keep stopping? He said, because I'm afraid. But there's no car around here. Like you can't even hit anything. He said, but I'm afraid because I never did it before. So I told him to look on the street, And I said, what do you see on the street? He said, I see a lot of cars passing. And I said, well, what's the difference between the people driving the cars and you? He said, well, the difference is they've been driving it, like they have experience driving, but I don't have any experience. That's why I don't have any confidence. So I told him, I said, confidence comes from action. So when you start and you start moving, that's where your confidence will come. Do you know within 30 days, he knew how to drive, and we could not even stop him from getting out of the house. He always wants to drive. Like, do you guys need anything at the store? Because he just wants to drive, right? Now he drives all over the place, right? And that right there is a metaphor for life, because a lot of times we see things and we think it's so daunting. Like, how am I going to do this? But then when you start, you realize it's not as bad as you thought. Okay. So I'm going to give you three quick points on overcoming fear. And what I'm about to share with you can literally change your business and change your life. So take very close, pay close attention to what I'm going to share. And by the way, definitely put your questions in the chat, because we're going to answer your questions. I see Natasha. Welcome to the call. All right. So first thing I want to say is, when it comes to fear, you should definitely reframe it. Reframe your fear, right? So one thing I tell myself before I do anything is, even if I don't succeed, I never lose, right? I either win or I learn. I never lose, right? If I do a call like this and nobody shows up, I don't lose. I just realize, okay, there's something I need to do to get people on next time, right? So I won, right? If I write a book and a lot of people don't buy, I find out why they didn't buy, and I fix that. And then when I write my second book, I fix it. And then again, I win. I never lose, right? So I think the reason why people are so afraid is because they feel they just don't want to lose. They're like, if I do it and it doesn't work, then, I have egg on my face. In other words, I'm embarrassed. You have to get over that. You never lose. If you're moving forward, you either win or you learn. Okay. So that's one way to reframe it. Number two, action comes before confidence, right? Remember, I told you about the story of my son. Action comes before confidence. You actually have to do it to get good at it and to become confident, right? When I started in sales, I was horrible at it. I was scared to sell. I felt like I was being pushy. So I didn't want to even talk to people about my product, right? But then when I started doing it and I started helping people get what they want, then I started enjoying it. Then I became one of the top reps in the region. Then I started teaching people how to do it. Then I started a whole coaching program, right? Everything I've done in my life, I started with fear. It started by fear, right? Nothing came naturally, okay? So you have to take action. That's how you overcome it. You actually have to take action. The longer you wait, the more you're going to talk yourself out of it. And then you'll never do it. Okay. Some of the speakers that speak on my stage, when we first meet, they say, well, Eric, this looks great, but I don't know if I'm ready. And so what do you think? How would you know if you're ready? It's like, well, I guess I just feel that I'm ready. I said, well, actually, that's not how it works. You may never be ready. Right? You just have to do it. And most of those people actually do it, and then they end up doing a great job. And you thought they weren't ready, right? So you just have to do it. Number three, and I alluded to this before, don't be afraid to look bad. Don't be afraid of what people say, because people will talk. No matter what, people will talk. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that, oh, nobody's gonna make fun of you. No, people will. People made fun of me the first time I spoke on stage. Oh my goodness, they made fun of me. Now they see me on stages, the same people, right? On big stages, right? So people would make fun of you, but it's better for you to learn how to deal with that than to stop yourself from achieving success because of what people say. I'm famous for saying if you live under a bridge, people will talk about you. If you live in a mansion, people will talk about you. You know, give them something good to talk about because they're going to talk about you. Okay. I remember when I started doing videos. So even though I had the confidence to speak on stages, I did not have the confidence to do videos, like to record a video and put it online. I was scared stiff of that. And so one lady that I was working with, she said, "You just have to just do one and put it online." I said, "Well, what if the lighting isn't good? What if the sound isn't good? Like, what if people don't like my message?" And she said, "You're thinking about the wrong things here. You just have to do it." Because I was worried about what people will say. And then I did my first video, and you will never believe it was on YouTube. And one guy commented, and it was a negative comment about my video, my first video. So what did I do? I clicked on YouTube. If someone makes a comment, you can click on their name to see all their videos. Guess what? He never did a video before. He had never recorded a video, but he was criticizing me. And that's how it happens for a lot of people. The people that are criticizing you, they can't do what you're doing. So don't worry about that. Just do it. Okay. So those are the 3 points that I want to share with you today with regard to fear. And I hope that really helped you. Thank you so much, Annie, for the clap. I thought about, the things that I can share with you that's helped me over the last, 25, 30 years, and things I wish people could have shared with me. All right. So I see all the people in the comments. Let's see. I see Calm. Welcome to the call. I see, what's her name here? I don't even see that name. Some people don't have the name on here, but I see a lot of people. Oh, Alexis is here. Welcome to the call. All right. So what I want everybody to do is put your questions in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. We are about to answer your questions. Now, make sure you start with the word question, right? You start with the word question. By the way, Natalie, thank you for that comment there about Toastmasters. By the way, I did join Toastmasters many years ago, about 30 years ago, and it was very helpful, very helpful. So for those of you that are afraid to speak in public, that's a great organization because you have a lot of practice and you'll be in front of friends, people that are there to help you. So thank you for that, Natasha. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do right now is basically share with you what we do and how we can help you in your business and your life. Okay. For those of you that don't know me, I am the founder of studiospeaking.com. Studiospeaking.com is the #1 stage in the world right now for speakers, coaches, and authors to share their message and monetize their expertise. Okay. #1 stage in the world, studiospeaking.com. So click on it, watch the 4-minute video. It'll tell you exactly what we do, how we can help you if you want to promote yourself as a speaker, coach, or author. Now, for everybody else, even if you're not a speaker, coach, or author, or you have no interest in speaking, I can still help you. I created an ebook to help you market your business, 100 ways to market your business and make more sales. And we'll put that in the chat. I believe it's successwitheric.com/100, but we'll put it in here. Okay. Success with Eric with the C.com/100. So whoever you are on this call, you can benefit from what I do. Either you want to benefit from speaking on my stage, or you want to benefit from my ebook that can help you build your business. Thank you, Carl, for that. Thank you for putting it in the chat, the Studio Speaking, and then let's put the other one as well. All right, so now we're going to go to my good friend, Annie Osong, to share with you how he can help you, what he's doing now. Annie, you want to go ahead and share?
Yes, I say my days are a joy these days. I published a children's book for William Plange last week, and today I'm working on publishing another book, The CEO with No Experience, for Dr. Noella in Cameroon. So I'm excited, and that's what I do for a living. I publish books, and I help some people write their books. That's what they want, and also help people to become Amazon #1 bestsellers. Of course, in between all that, we do events to make our friends who have unique solutions famous. you know who they are, and people will know, and they get to know by the target audience. And last, I'll say, again, I saw a question earlier. Half an answer to your question, Coral. We're doing master classes as well these days to try and move our friends forward in their business. So we'll cover all sorts of topics, from being stuck, to I guess, using AI to make to really achieve business growth. The one masterclass is monthly, so our next one is on the 27th of May. I'll tell you more about it as the weeks go on, my friends. Let's connect. If you want to know more about what we do, if we can help you, just so I know what you do. Let's connect and let's have a conversation.
All right, all right. I was so enthralled by his message, I forgot to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Eddie. Yes, definitely connect with Eddie. He's helped me a lot. I think when I met Eddie, I think I had maybe 1,000 on, I don't know, maybe 2,000 followers. I don't remember how many on LinkedIn, but I know I have 15,000 now. Right? He's really helped me to promote myself. Right. So, all right. So let's get into the questions. Definitely put your questions in here. I see a question by Natasha. She says, how do you prepare or market before you speak? How do you prepare or market before you speak? Okay, great question. I'll throw it out to Annie and then I will also respond. Go ahead, Annie.
It's there's only one way I know. Before I go speak on stage, I practice. I get make sure I know my subject. Some people will have a script, and I don't tend to have a script, and I don't even have notes on the day. But I will practice and practice and practice so that I learn everything I want to say. When you go on stage, I think everything goes in a sequence. You're gonna call it that, right? There's a series of stories that you want to tell to make the points that you want to make. And I say, I just get fixed. I get to make sure I know the point I want to make and the story that goes with it. And then, of course, like I say, practice your timing, practice delivery, practice, how your funny bits work, right? And how your humor works. Right? You can't. What it's the worst case? Carry some cards with the points on there, right? But I think reading a script is always. It sounds terrible to me, but I say that because when I was younger, I used to try and read my presentations at uni, at school. And when it came time to deliver, I always went blank. I just couldn't see the paper that I wrote on. So I stopped doing that. Right? Just learn your stories, get comfortable delivering it. There you go, Eric.
Yes, very good. Great answer there. And I agree. Practice is very important. You want to practice your presentation over and over, and practice in the same place where you'll be speaking. Right. So if you're going to be on Zoom, practice on a Zoom. If you're going to be speaking on a particular stage, get there early. Practice on that stage. Right. Because there's something about doing something. Because once you do it once, you're like your brain tells you, "Oh, I did it. I can do it again." I just spoke on that stage. I can do it again on that stage, right? So you want to practice on that stage. Make sure you find out about your audience, so you're speaking directly to the audience, right? You want to know about who you're speaking with too. That's one of the preparation, because it doesn't matter what you say if you're speaking to people that can't relate, right? So find out about them, find out something they can relate to. I think politicians do it the most, right? They come and speak, and all of a sudden they can speak Spanish. All of a sudden they're speaking to Spanish people. Now they can speak Spanish, right? Like they know how to relate to the audience, right? And that's why they're so good at it. They find out something about the organization or the group and they say something funny and they're like, wow, everybody can relate, right? So that's the thing. Learn about your audience. Practice, practice, practice. Very important that you practice. And it's okay to be a little nervous, because that means you care. That means you care. If you got there and you have no nerves at all, then you really don't care. You really don't care about giving value, right? So it's okay. And definitely practice the beginning part the most, because that's where people really fall, like they're so nervous they don't know what to say, right? So almost like memorize the beginning, but then you get better as you go, right? All right, so let's go to another question here. That was a great question. Here's one. Um, let's see. Now let me go to another one here by Coral. Give me 1 second. Um, Hold on. I know I saw it here. Give me a second. Okay. So one question she said, what would you do right now if you knew you could not fail? Okay, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? That's a great question. Yeah.
It is a
Go
great
ahead.
question. It's a great question. I love the Coral because I get a feeling I'll do exactly what I'm doing. So every day I try and push myself a bit further. So when Eric said, would tell us what you're up to, I gave a whole list of things. I said, these things have been, many of them have been on my mind for years, but I talked myself out of it. I wasn't ready. Master classes, no one's ever going to pay to join us. No, I don't want to do that. Do events where I put authors on real life stages. No, I can't possibly do that. That's way beyond me, right? No, so but now I'm doing all of it all at once. Coral. That's just so I guess I would do what I do now. Maybe harder, right? But I don't believe it. That Eric said it earlier. I don't believe I can fail. I think if I'm going to learn, I'm going to win. Either way, I'm going to win, right? If it doesn't go right, I'll learn something. If it goes right, then I've won. That's why I look at everything now. I don't let this fear thing or this fear of failure come into my mind anymore.
Yes, yes, great question and great answer. For me, because I am very intentional about facing my fears. Whatever I want to do, I just do it. I just do it. Like I don't wait anymore. Like maybe when I was younger, I used to, but now, do you know when I came up with the idea for studio speaking? I called every studio I can find to see if I can speak, and within a week, I already had a booking to speak. I don't wait. So one thing I would advise all of you to do is when you have an idea, take action right away. The longer you wait, the more of a chance you're never going to do it. You'll talk yourself out of it. You'll start saying, well, I've never done it before. Oh, well, I don't have the money. Well, I don't know who does that. You'll start giving yourself all these excuses. And here's the worst part. You start asking people for their opinion. Oh my goodness. That is the kiss of death. I was telling Annie before we started this call that before I started my company, Studio Speaking, I asked a lady who I have a lot of respect for, a very successful lady. I asked her about, I told her what I wanted to do. And she basically said, yeah, Eric, I don't think this will work. And I said, why not? She said, well, because most speakers won't want to pay you because they want to get paid. And I said, well, I'm going to give them this and I'm going to give them that. I'm going to give them the videos. I'm going to give them pictures. I'm going to give them the community, all of that. They're like, yeah, but people won't pay. I said, okay, no problem. Guess what? Within 2 months, I did my first event with four ladies. They flew in from all over the country to North Carolina. One came from Arizona, and they spoke. And that was my first event. 3 months later, I did another one. 3 months later, I did another one. Then I had 15 speakers, right? So now I didn't listen to her. I didn't listen to her. And as I was telling Annie, she's connected to me, so she sees all the speakers. She sees them. She's like, "Wow, he did it anyway, right?" So so I don't know if I answered your question, but anyway, just go for it. Go for it. All right. Here's another question. By Coral. Were you ever waiting to feel ready, and did that feeling ever go away? That's a good question. Were you ever waiting to feel ready, and did that feeling ever go away? Annie, go ahead.
Yeah, look, I'm human, Coral. I'm human, right? Like I say, for everything that Eric said, just do it, right? That's. I think I've learned to just do it, think it, mentally plan it, and do it. For a long time, I was waiting for that for something to happen. like I said to you, it's not raise my price. No, I'll do it when I deliver a better service. I'll do it when I get better customers. I'll do it when, right? Always waiting. But and I had to get a coach to help to really work through my fears, because that's what all those things are. You're waiting because you're afraid, right? And then it took me a very long time. It took many years to really realize that I'm not just making excuses. So now, the feeling doesn't go away. I think the only the things we've said today, please do, please hear us. What we're saying is start, plan to learn, plan to get better. And the more you do, the more confident you are also doing it. And the more that once you do something once, your brain gets to believe that you can do that thing. That's the truth, right? Whereas if you don't do it, if you keep procrastinating, like Eric's saying now, that if you wait and keep procrastinating in your brain, then you tell your brain a simple message: I am not the person who does that, whatever that is. And never tell your brain that. No, don't tell yourself that. If you tell your subconscious, I'm not the person who does that thing, then you never do it. Whereas if you can just start, then you tell your brain, I'm the person who does that. That's how life really works. That's how people succeed to do what they do, right? You know.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I agree 100%. You just have to force yourself to start, and then you'll be ready. So I've written a book, and actually written a few books, but I published one. And you probably have heard that before, right? When someone writes a book, but they haven't published it. So yeah, you guys would love my unpublished book. You would really love it.
They'll never see them, Eric.
Yes, yes. And my proofreader is actually on the line right now, so she knows that I've read the book that I haven't published. So anyway, let's see. The feeling will never go out. So here's the thing. When I wanted to write my first book, so I was writing these chapters one by one, but I didn't know what, like, the details, what goes into it. Like, you need a cover, right? And then you have to have someone that will put it on Amazon. There's a term they use. I forgot what the term is, but it has to adapt to Amazon, right? And then you need someone to proofread it, right. You need someone to proofread it, because you may think it's perfect, but somebody else will find something in there that you're like, wow, I didn't even see that. And by the way, if you're looking for one, Alexis is on the line. Alexis Scarlett James, she's my proofreader right there. So then you need someone to proofread it, right? Then you need a barcode behind the book. There has to be a barcode, right? Where do you find the barcode? Right. So my point is, I didn't think I was ready, because there was so much that I didn't know about how to write a book and how to launch a book. So I hired a coach. Right? So one of the things you should always do is hire somebody or get a mentor to help you in the area that you're afraid of, right? The lady that pushed me into doing videos online, she was my mentor. Right? Now I probably have 500 videos or more since then, but she was my mentor, right? So that's one of the things. Instead of sitting around saying, well, I'm not ready, find someone that's done it and learn from them, right? You want to write a book, contact any, say, hey, I'm ready. I want to start. I want to do something. I want to start. I want to take the first step, right? So so to answer your question, Carl, there are a lot of things that I've done in my life where I did not feel ready, right? But I did it anyway, because the stars will never align. People say, well, I need to get my ducks in a row. I need the stars to align. Right, Annie? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then another thing is, we think that there'll be a perfect time in our life to do it. You know what? My kids are small, so when they grow older, guess what? When they grow older, they still need you. Now what are you gonna do, right? Oh, okay. When they move out of the house, Right. Now, before you know it, you're old and gray and you haven't done anything. Right? You haven't done anything. So you can't just use life as an excuse, because life, as they say, it's always life, and things are always happening, right? So I got on a tangent there, but I hope my tangent helps somebody. I hope my tangent helps somebody. All right. Let's see. I want to check here real quick. Okay, so Annie, we have about 15 minutes or so. So if you can just share any other comments that you want to share regarding this topic that we're talking about, facing
Yeah,
fear, and then we'll go.
yeah, for sure, for sure. The thing I would say is, so fear, a lot of it has to do with us not trusting ourselves. Like Coral mentioned courage earlier. I think that this is a conversation about being willing to take risks and trusting yourself to do hard things, to do new things, right? And ultimately, and I will say this for everyone who's here: look, yes, like things will go wrong, things will be harder than you think. Yes, that's life, right? But no, but take it from me, you've got this far because you're strong enough, and you'd be strong enough to take the next steps as well. Trust yourself to be resilient. Trust yourself to be resourceful. Trust yourself to be creative in finding solutions. You see, if you truly trust yourself, then you know that you're going to overcome anything. As Cora said earlier, and if you believe you can't fail, what would you do? I say, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do anything. We'll do everything, right? Let's try and believe you can't fail, because you can't fail. We're serious when we say, whatever you do, you're winning. When you take the next step, you're winning. Truly believe it and experience it. You see that your life change before your very eyes. Eric, that's pretty much the addition I want to add.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. So there is one more question I want to pull up by Coral that we can address. Um, oh, by the way, Natasha, I think just mentioned that I think she wants Alexis to send her contact information. There you go. You see, that's why you get on these calls, folks. So now you can contact Alexis can contact you, and you can work on the book. There you go. Awesome. All right. Question by Coral. Are there any habits that can help you build courage and reduce fear? That's a great question. Habits that can help you build courage and reduce fear. So, I'll let you start.
Yeah, for sure. Again, if you've been here a few times, you hear me talk about this thing that I discovered. It's called creating a system. Create a system. A system simply means you have a structure to your day. Again, to overcome fear, you need to show up consistently for yourself. If you can do it daily, even better, right? And a lot of people will come thinking, I need to go from 0 to 100 in one day. You don't, right? There's always that famous question: how do you eat an elephant? One bit at a time. No elephants were hurt in this conversation, right? But I'm saying that, yeah, be prepared to create a routine. When you wake up, what do you do? Where does your time go, right? Now, instead, put that time into the steps to achieve your goal. Now, so for example, wake up. Yes, say for me, I wake up, I do my meditation, I do my goal setting, I do my gratitude. I do it. So, once that's done, my first hour is going to be spent doing my business stuff, right? Doing the things I need to do for my business. Second hour is going to be spent on client one, whoever client one is on that week. And then the next hour after that, client two. If I have more clients, I can work on those afterwards, right? If I got other things to do, I can do those afterwards. Now, the more I do my routine, the more I tell my brain, this is what we do. The fear goes away because you can see yourself progressing every day. That's the reality. Whereas, if we don't have a routine, things get life happens. Eric said it earlier. We're laughing, right? Chaos. Oh, emergency. Deal with this. Deal with that. Deal with that email. Yes, at least with a routine, you know what you're going to do. Even if the chaos happens, you can say, right, now when I get back after that chaos, after sorting that, I know what I'm going to do. Your brain will thank you because your brain will be at peace. Your soul will be at peace too because truly you can calm down because you know what you're going to do next. The more you do that routine, the more the fear goes away. Because take Eric's book for as an example. The more you write pages of the book, the more the fear just disappears, and you realize you've actually got a book, and then you know you live in joy, right? Hopefully you get excited about finishing the book and publishing the book, because that's another whole lot of work that you're gonna have to do, which can induce fear in itself, right? As many people are very afraid to market a book. Yeah, don't be that person. Take little steps, have a plan, live your plan every day.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so by the way, folks, I just put it in the chat. My some people are saying, how can I get that free ebook? There it is right there. Successwitheric.com/100. So if you can put it in LinkedIn, Coral, because I think it automatically went to YouTube. So if you can put it in LinkedIn, or somebody put it in LinkedIn, successwitheric.com/100. And that gives you 100 ways to market your business, to promote yourself, to make more sales, to make more money. Even talks about speaking a little bit. So successwitheric.com/100. All right. So as we leave, there's one more question. Oh, I used my iPhone to record. It's okay. She said ignore the question. Ignore that question. Okay, no problem. I was about to ask it, but I'll ignore it. Okay. So, all right. So, welcome, Salim. Good to see you. I see a lot of new people joining. We're about to end. We're about to end the call. So, um, I just want to wrap it up by just letting you all know that in life there are going to be a lot of times where you are fearful of doing things, but usually that's a good sign. That's usually a sign that what you're doing is relevant to your life. It's pushing you forward, right? If you don't have a challenge, you're not moving forward, right? Don't pray for less challenges. Pray for more wisdom, because you need a challenge to move forward. If you conduct your business every day and you're not nervous, like that you're not nervous about anything, then you're not stretching yourself. That means you need to stretch your comfort zone, right? You need to do things that get you nervous, that get you a little apprehensive, because that means you're stretching yourself, right? So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. The more you do that, the more you become successful. And remember, success begets success, which means if you see somebody out there that's a better speaker than you, and they're writing books and they're making money and they're doing all these things, it's because they started somewhere. They started somewhere and they got a little bit of success. And he started with his first book. He had success, then he did his second book. He had success, then he started helping people. Then he started helping people to write 10 books, 15 books, 20 books, right? So now when you see him, you're like, oh my goodness, I can never be like any. It's because you don't know where he started, right? Success begets success. Fight the fear, get around the right people that can help you accomplish your goal. Continue to come to these events. Continue to come to our calls every morning. By the way, Zion, I had to drop off. I think some technical issues, but follow him, Zion Inaugural. You'll see him connected to me. Follow him, Mr. Positivity. He helps people, like I said, all over the world. Also, he helps you if you're doing events online. He'll help you promote that as well. So definitely connect with him. Okay. And Leah Garcia, she's usually on. She couldn't make it today. She's a financial expert, a financial guru. She's also connected to me. You'll see her on the flyer, Leah Garcia. So check her out. Download her ebook, All Things Finance. If you want to make more money, save more money, invest more money, she can help you with that. All right. So we are 5 minutes. Good. Yeah, we're doing great on time. If you're here live, put in the chat hashtag live. And for those of you that are watching on replay, put in hashtag replay. And do me a favor, folks. You know, we get up early every Monday morning for you for free to share this information. All we ask is that you share this information. So take this video, this link, repost it on Instagram, repost it on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and say, "Hey guys, this is a great conversation I heard this morning that really helped me, really blessed me, and I want to bless you all as well. I want to share this with you as well." All right. Appreciate all of you. We will see you next week, same time, same place. It has been a plum pleasing pleasure to be here with you this morning. And we wish you have a great week and a great day. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.